everybody, and happy new moon. Before I get too deep into this video, I just want to give a heads up that you're going to hear the occasional clanking and banging because my lovely upstairs neighbor decided that they want to do some construction today. But we're not going to let that affect us. We are going to focus on the wonderful energies of the new moon. For all of my tarot fans, this is sort of my new reiteration of the tarot series. Rather than a weekly pulling of a card, we'll be doing a slightly longer version twice a month for the new moon and the full moon. Now the new moon is reaching its peak today at 1:38 p.m. Eastern Time, New York time for me. So shortly after this video is released, basically 38 minutes after this video is live for you, that is the new moon. That is when the new moon is at its peak. It's not quite a dark moon, it's the moment right after the dark moon. So I won't go into too many details about new moon versus full moon versus rituals. Maria Gentle Whispering has a lot of great videos about that kind of stuff, and it's all how you take it. It's all personal. I love treating new moons as a time of stillness, of inner reflection, and for manifesting, because as the new moon moves into a waxing crescent and towards once again the cycle of a full moon, it's this feeling of growing. So we can sort of ask the universe for things, put things out in the universe and watch them grow and develop. But that again is a video for a separate day. If you want to know more or see more about that, do let me know in the comments. But today we're going to focus on drawing some cards. So I'm not super big into astrology. Any of you astrology fans out there, please, let me know in the comments. Give your own 2 cents. But from my few witch friends that are into astrology that I follow online and that I know in person, this is the Gemini season. In fact, it just started 2 days ago, Gemini season. So this is a new moon in the Gemini constellation, so you could say. So we can kind of have this thought for this new moon in particular. Not only are we in a place of stillness, of introspective sort of awareness, but with Gemini there's a little bit of duality. There's the angel and the devil on your shoulder, and Gemini sort of asks us to listen to both sides, to listen to everything, to be careful, and to weigh out all of our options. So something to think about as we pull our cards. Now that I've talked your ear off, I'll be pulling 2 different cards today. The first is from the Rider Tarot deck. It's the traditional tarot card. So we'll be pulling one of those to see how this new moon will affect us and what sort of things we want to think about. But I thought it would also be fun to pull a card from the Spells deck. I know some of you were intrigued by this card last time. So, what do we pull first? Let's pull from the Spells deck first. Let's see what might pop up for us here. So, we have our lovely deck here, and I'm just going to shuffle and tap into the energies of the universe, into Gemini season, into the soft and subtle energies of the new moon, and of course all of you watching, whether you're watching right now at 1 p.m. on Friday. I think it's May 22nd? I think it's the 22nd. So whether you're watching right now as this video is aired somewhat live, or if you're watching this days or weeks later, we're all sharing the same universal plane. We're all in this dimension together. So let's let our energies connect, and let's see what the Spells deck wants to tell us about this new moon. Okay. I'm going to go with the top card. Let's see. And it says here, Temple. So this looks like a recipe. I will read it to you. Incense invokes the senses connected to divine spirit and can be used to enhance a daily meditation practice. So this is a recipe for an incense blend. So I'll read it to you, and if you have these materials or similar materials at home, you can always use them. 3 tablespoons of frankincense, and these are incense resins. 3 tablespoons of myrrh. 3 tablespoons of benzoin, if I'm saying that right. 2 tablespoons of dragon's blood, and 2 tablespoons of gloria, which is also, it says in parentheses, cathedral incense. You'll also want 1/4 cup of powdered sandalwood. Personally, I only have, do I have frankincense? No, I think I only have myrrh resins right now. So I don't have any of these other items for myself personally, but if you have something at home or something similar, you can always make this. Use a mortar and pestle to grind the resins. Pour into a wooden bowl and mix with the sandalwood. Burn on charcoal tablets in the morning or evening during your meditation practice. This aromatic incense blend can be used to bless one's temple, altar, or any place magic is practiced. And magic is such a wide used term. Little do we know that everyone practices some form of magic in their day-to-day life, whether it's a superstition or it's a meditation or it's just having a good thought for someone. You're literally sending out your love. It's a spell in and of itself. So don't take the word magic too literally or let yourself get clouded by your perceptions of what magic is or isn't. So we'll just have an open mind about that. So that's a nice little incense. If you have the materials, you could light some incense, either, when you watch, let's say you watch this video again, or, maybe this evening as you sort of meditate on the new moon. And what should we be meditating upon in a more concrete sense? Let's see what the cards have to tell us. So once again, I'm going to tap into the energies of the universe, of all of you out there watching, into the energies of this coming new moon and what this time of darkness will bring out, what we can manifest and bring to light. So, where does it feel good to stop? Where is my inner self telling me, let's pick this card? Okay, I feel good about this top card. Let's see what we have. Ooh, are y'all ready for this? Death. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the tarot, you might be a little alarmed right now seeing this death card. I assure you, it's not as scary as it seems. I actually really like the death card. The death card represents change. And for me, change it's not always the best, but it's usually necessary. And for the most part, I think change is a good thing. I'm not going to do fancy graphics this time. I'm just going to hold up the card so you can see it right there. So you can see the details of it. Death. So we have Death riding on his pale mare, holding his flag. And there's, it looks like there's a priest trying to reason with him, but Death will hear no reason. So unfortunately, my camera cut off, and I didn't even notice till I was done filming. But instead of refilming everything, and I want to stick with what we pulled with, that's the card the universe wanted to give us. So we will get some graphics. You'll see some death cards as I finish this off with a voiceover. Let's begin by reading about the death card in our Tarot Bible book. So the key words are change, new beginnings, endings, and transformation. And the key phrases are the end of an old cycle and the beginning of a new one. Let go of the past. Don't fear being true to yourself. One door closes, another opens. A parting of the ways, accepting the inevitable, getting down to the nitty-gritty, accepting the cycles of change. And here's the interpretation. This card often alarms people, but please don't take it literally. This is the one card in the pack upon which we project our greatest fears. But death is a positive card in all positions. And remember, it has an energy concerned with transition from one state to another. Something ends, something else begins, and gives you a chance to embrace change rather than fear it. When death appears in a spread, it simply implies that something has reached the end of a cycle. It could be a love affair, a job, or a belief system that now needs to undergo some kind of transformation. Death can imply that you are in a process of changing your life, but are perhaps concerned about the consequences. You might secretly want to end a love relationship, but can't bear to hurt someone. Or you need to change something about your life so that you can unleash your true potential. Death can also imply that changing circumstances are blocking your personal vision, that you are confused about the next stage of your journey. Always relate this card directly to your question, issue, or self-development issue, because then it will be more obvious what needs to change. Embrace the changes that are coming your way. So I think this is a wonderful card, and it's so relevant to this new moon that we're coming upon. The new moon, it's a dark time. It's a time of fresh beginnings in a sense, but also a time of stillness where we can turn into ourselves and evaluate what's really there. What can we let go of? What can we rid ourselves of? What changes can we embrace? And with this new moon, how do we then move forward? What can we manifest around us and bring into our life? We can only bring in new things by letting go of the old. And in that case, change is really a welcome sight. Always remember, when one door closes, another opens. And right now we're all in this time of change. The world is changing. All of us are, not just in our day-to-day life, but our mind, our thoughts, the way that we perceive the world to be is changing. And we're learning a lot about society and communities and who we are deep down. And that can be scary sometimes. But if we embrace this change, if we find a way to reconcile ourselves to this new way of living, I think we'll find there's some really beautiful and important lessons to be learned. And we can definitely take that with us and bring in new, fresh energy into our lives. So, if you liked this new style reading, let me know. I think it's fun to pull a spells deck card and a tarot card. If you have the ingredients to make those incense, please go ahead. If not, though, any incense you have around the house or even a candle, maybe light it later tonight and meditate upon the card of death. Meditate upon change and think about what changes have been happening in you. And with this coming new moon, what can you let go of in order to transform and bring in new light into your life? Thank you all for tuning in. I apologize about the technical failures, but I thought if I tried to refilm it, I would get different cards and it wouldn't be what the universe was wanting to give us. So hopefully you enjoyed the imagery, and I look forward to seeing you all in a couple weeks for the full moon. Bye.